G'day guys, Aussie FIFA HD and welcome back to yet another FIFA 21 tutorial on the channel. Today we are learning right stick selection. You guys have been asking for this in the comment section countless times and I'm finally bringing it to you guys. It's been in the comment section that often that I am sure and I guarantee you this episode will be up a lot quicker in FIFA 22 than what it was this year because of the amount of times that people asked for it. But lads, I'm going to jump into the intro and then I'm going to teach you guys a few techniques with the right stick selection.
Griezmann, three men around him, but somehow finds some space. Ronaldo, fantastic, opening the drive back.
He's made himself the tiniest bit of space.
Almost feels like a bit of a tie. Didn't really go for it. Oh! The display there is absolutely ridiculous. The Elastico on the goal line. On the goal line, the finest.
We talked about Aussie Fifa. He's not here to make up the numbers.
Right stick selection. A very, very good way of defending in FIFA 21. Really, let's just look, I'm not going to say it's simple to do. I'm not going to say it's easy. This will take you practice. It's safe to say that really your Elite 2, Elite 1 and professional FIFA players use this defending technique. I find your Elite 3 players don't quite use this, okay? So it's very important that you do try and get this down pat, and I will deconstruct how you do it. But basically a good way of practicing right stick selection, and first of all, before I go into that, I do want to just briefly mention what it is. It's basically a way of selecting your defenders in defense. Usually a lot of players, if they're a lower tier player, will use the L1 button to select the defender. Lads, it's not as good because your AI will essentially pick a defender for you. With the right stick selection, I have the dictate, that I can dictate who I am defending with, and I can position my defenders in a certain way so that I can, keep my defense tight and not select a player that I don't want with the L1 button. A way of practicing this is in skill games. You can go into defending skill games, any of them will do, which you're controlling multiple defenders, and just practice switching between your defenders in skill games. Even another way of practicing this is basically in kickoff on beginner difficulty, and just basically flicking the right stick and trying to select the player that you want to select on the pitch. And you can do this when the AI has the ball. You can just not actually defend against the AI because it's going to be easy as with the beginner, but you basically want to practice flicking to the defender that you want to select, the actual defender that you want to defend with. And that's really that's a tip I can give you in terms of practicing it. In terms of utilizing this in your defensive game. Now, I find a lot of the times myself when I'm using right stick selection, I use it all the time. I use it to sort of position my defenders the way I want them. If I want to bring my CDM back, whilst also half keeping control of another player, in a different area of the pitch, I can flick quickly to the CDM, bring him back a bit, and then flick back to the defender that I had originally, and basically try and win that ball back. Or I can use it to pressure them. So I can use it to bring back defenders, or I can also use it to, push up and control multiple defenders at once, because I'm constantly switching between them to push them up the pitch and basically, intercept the ball and put a lot of pressure onto my opponent. It will pretty much save you guys from going constant pressure. Okay, this is a way manually of doing constant pressure without running out of stamina, and that's why I think right stick selection is so vital in your defensive game. And what you're going to want to do also in terms of defending is use the right stick selection method to basically intercept the ball. And it's about reading your opponent. Obviously you guys might have experienced this before, where where your opponent is going to pass, but you can't quite get there quick enough because you can't select the defender that you want automatically. Well, the right stick selection defending method will prevent this from happening. You'll be able to select the defender that you want, pounce up and make that interception, and that is what is very, very key and very, very useful with the right stick selection method is getting those interceptions, because your opponent doesn't think you're going to get there. But if I can read him and I can select the defender I want with the right stick, I can then put pressure onto the player that's receiving the ball and make that tackle. And that is why right stick selection is so vital in FIFA 21, and it's definitely going to be vital in FIFA 22. I can't stress to you guys enough. Practice it now so you can get it down pat for FIFA 22, because it will be a vital way of defending in that game. I can guarantee it. And again, practice in kickoff, practice in skill games, and I'm sure you guys will get it down pat soon enough. But that's just a quick tutorial or a quick guide for right stick selection. I've kind of kept it short today because it's FIFA 21, it's near the end of the game. I want to do another reiteration of this and a more in-depth version of this for FIFA 22, so be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. Also, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all links are in the description down below. And be sure, lads, to drop a like on this episode if you did indeed enjoy it. But as always, I hope you guys have a good day. I'm out. Sayonara, au revoir, and goodbye.